Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Melissa, and as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be doing a mid-month check-in of my budget for April 2024. So if you're interested in seeing how the money has been flowing for the first 2 weeks of April and what I need to do to make it through to the end of the month, please stay tuned. So before we get into the main portion of the video, I want to take the time out to tell you guys thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I'm here to get encouragement, but also to encourage someone out there that, even though you're in a tough spot, you can make it through and you can make it work. You just need to focus. So now that I've said that, let's just jump right into the video. So we did get paid on the 11th. It was a day early. So I actually started the budget. If you have seen that video, I started the new paycheck budget on the 11th. So my paycheck was $28.57 and 62 cents. So that is more than I was expecting because I did a few hours overtime. So that came in on that paycheck, and hubby sent over $1,000. So those have cleared, and that is the income that we were working with. So next up is YNAB was the first subscription that came out for $16.29. And if you don't know what YNAB is, I am also going to jump into it and show you guys where I am as far as my targets and goals in that software. So it is You Need a Budget. There should be a link in the description if you want to sign up for it. It's a pretty cool software that keeps you on track. To be honest, that has been, a big change for me when I started using YNAB. When I actually started buckling down and using YNAB, it has been a big change for me. So check it out. There's a link in the description. All right, so next up was Amazon for household goods. So I did spend $37.23. So I did buy 2 new smoke detectors because somehow the smoke detectors in my house has been chirping and has not stopped. So even though we've changed the batteries, they just seems like they're out of date. So we went ahead and I ordered 2 more from Amazon for $37.26. So this is going to be 4 that we've ordered in the last few months. On the 11th from Amazon, which is the same purchase, I bought a new phone case and screen because the ones that I had on my phone needed to be changed. The screen was cracked and the case was falling apart. So $43.70 I paid on Amazon. That was the 11th. Also, the same day, which is the same purchase, but Amazon did split these transactions up also, which is good for me. So it kept the phone case and screen together. I did order a new garbage can because our old garbage can was on its last straw or last leg, last life, whatever it is. It needed to go. So I ordered a new garbage can for $97.75. So these 3 Amazon transactions were all in the same day, but Amazon did split them for me, which was good. It was good to see what tax went to what purchase, so I could just log them as is. Okay, on the 12th, which was the Friday, I paid my babysitter for $220, and I made my lending club loan payment for $1,059.22. On the 13th, my Google Cloud subscription came out for $2.16. And then I made the loan payment to my auto loan for $939.23. So next up, I did write a check for BCCC for $20 that has not cleared the account. They are still holding on to the checks, you guys. So now this is check number 3 that's out there. All right, so next up on the 15th, I paid for the braces to the orthodontist for $164. That cleared my account and was paid back because this one is on a credit card. So the amount was charged to the card and I already made the payment. So Harris fuel oil for heating oil. I did need heating oil, so I was telling myself that I was hoping actually that it was going to last me through to the end of the month. It didn't. So I needed to order heating oil again. This time it was $418.10. And that cleared. And just so you know, you guys, I do order heating oil every month, but I can only afford to do 100 gallons at a time, or a tank is 200 gallons. But I can only do 100 gallons at a time because it is so expensive. So if $418 is for 100 gallon, that bill would be $800. And I can't find it to do $800 within a month. So $418 for 100 gallons. So next up, on the 15th, my Discover card payment went out for $168. So it was less than what I did budget. I budgeted $171, but $168 is the minimum payment. On the 15th, I paid $67 to Mattress Firm, which is the minimum payment. That one does not change. It doesn't fluctuate, and is at a 0%. On the 15th, I got gas at BP for $82.21. So I did have $75 budgeted for gas, but it was so close to being full that I just went ahead and put the additional monies in. And then I took it out of sinking funds to fill that up because it was just so close. So I filled it up. So on the 15th, I went to the bagel shop for breakfast for $5. On the 15th, I had a doctor's appointment. I paid $25 for my copay. Then I went to CVS and picked up some meds. So this was the total for the meds. So I am on medication because I have a few different things that we're monitoring. The $68.79 is a 3-month supply of medication that I do take daily. So that cleared. On the 15th, I went for groceries at ShopRite for $137.29. And for household goods for $3.71. On the 15th, I did send money for my daughter for her child support for $263, and I took my son to go get his haircut for $35. So on the 16th, which is the one that's up next, my daughter was out for her track meet, and she wanted some money to pick up dinner while they were out, and I sent her $15. And at work, on the 17th, at the vending machine, I got a snack for $1. On the 17th, I did do a little bit of hustling last week with Instacart. I didn't have much time because I was actually on the evening shift last week. So I don't have that much time in the morning time to do any kind of juggling and hustling with Instacart. So all I did was, I think I only had 2 orders, or maybe it was just 1 order, and I made $17.20. Not complaining, because this $17, actually the $15 that I sent to my daughter came out of this money, out of the $17. On the 17th, I went to CVS and picked up some more meds for $2.25. And while I was there, I needed to get some household stuff. So I needed to get body wash and lotion for the kids, and it was for $24.42. So this morning, I'm recording this video later in the afternoon. So this morning, while at work, I got breakfast from the bagel shop for $3. So that's it for all the transactions as of this point. So when I do come in to close out this paycheck, I'm going to probably have to recap because today, the 18th, is not over yet. So there may be more transactions today. I don't expect to spend any money, but we'll see. So, all right, you guys, those are the expenses so far in the second pay period of April. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to jump over into YNAB, and we're just going to talk out what is left in the budget, what was spent, just so you guys could see. So, all right, you guys, here we go in YNAB. We're just going to go over the categories. As you can see, there is one overspent category here. And this is my credit card interest. And this is for my Discover card. So my Discover card closed last night. And the amount of interest is $75.34. That is what hit my account. And we can't touch that right now. We don't know where the money is going to come from to cover this credit card spend, to cover this credit card interest. So we'll just let that sit right there for just for now. All right, so we're gonna go line by line, top down. In our fixed expenses, the rent was paid, electric was paid, student loan was paid. One main is next up, and I still have one payment to pay for the rest of the month of April. My target on this amount is $600. I was only able to pay $253.98, which is the half payment that comes out automatically. So we'll see what I can throw into one main before the month is over, because I necessarily don't have to, because like I've mentioned this before, I am not late. I am actually paid ahead. Reason why I keep paying these payments on a bi-weekly basis is just to reduce the interest and to cut down the balance of the loan, of course, but it reduces the interest because it's a daily, because the interest is calculated daily. The more payments you make is the less amount of days in between. I don't know how to explain it, but if you look at an amortization schedule, if you wait 30 days to pay your loan payment back, you have the maximum amount of interest that's calculated and charged. If you make your payments early, the earlier you make your payments is the less interest you have to pay in between those payments. I hope that makes sense. For my brain, it works because I do look at an amortization schedule, and so far I have been doing well. So we'll see if we can make a payment just to reduce the interest. Okay, next up is the car insurance that was fully paid. Renter's insurance, I did have to take that money back out to cover what I needed to cover. So we need to put some more money. $21.88 is a half of next month's payment that YNAB recommends that I set aside based on the target that I've set up. But we did put it in, we had to pull it back out. Braces was fully paid. My auto loan was paid. Cell phone has not been paid yet. It's not due until the 30th, which is the end of the month. The bill is out, so it is actually $300, and we're going to have to wait to pay that. Internet is up next, and that one is also due on the 30th for $124. I did reach out to them, you guys, and I did request that they lower the payment. I'm not sure if they're going to, but as of right now, $124 is due for the end of the month. So next up is the after school, which is fully funded. I have $40 in here. So I did go in and log all of the checks that I've dropped off. So I did have that $15 check that I'm always talking about that's been sitting there since the month of March. I did drop off the check for the first week of April for $20 and the second week of April for $20. And this $40 that I have left here is for this week and the one for next week. So that's $40 left to cover the month, and we'll see how that one goes. Okay, the babysitter, I have paid $440 so far. It's still asking for $440. That's my goal because I have 2 weeks left in April, tomorrow Friday, and then next week Friday. Child support, even though I already paid one payment, I have to send another one to my daughter for $263. That's going to come out at the end of the month. So subscription, I do have $19.18 available. I have spent $68.97 so far, and there's a couple of things that's left to come out. So we'll see how that fares between now and the time I get paid again. So credit cards, like I said, my Discover card was paid, Mattress Firm was paid. So next up, I do have to pay my Capital One number 2. So as you can see here, there's $418.10 to be paid to Capital One. This was for the heat and oil. I did take that money out of household, and so now I need to actually apply the payment and wait for it to clear. I do have $32.21 to pay to Apple. So next up in the Flexi section, so my flexible spending has been a little bit different than what I thought it would have been. So copay and meds, this is so far my a big expense for me. Um, I have I usually don't spend this much, but a lot has happened between doctor's appointment for myself and the kids and medications that we had to pick up. So copay and meds is at $271.59 right now. I'm not sure what the rest of the month look like. I know I have a couple more doctor's appointments to go to before the month is over, and I think I still will have to pay my copay because I'm not sure if those are going to be considered wellness visit, but we'll see. Credit card interest as of this date is up to $474.91, and I still have to pay $75.34 in credit card interest. Eating out of the $15 that I've assigned myself, $15.87, I still have $2 left. So I have fully curbed my eating out. So look at that, you guys. I curbed the eating out, which is that's a win. That's a big win for me because my eating out was a little bit out of control for the last couple months. All right. So extra debt payment, I haven't been doing anything with that. Fuel was up next. So far I spent $82.21, and lucky for me, hubby had filled up the cars. Hubby had filled up both cars earlier in the month, so I didn't have to do anything with them except for the $82. All right, so given was $20 that I sent out already. Groceries, I am up to $505.36. So I'm no longer looking at groceries on a whole. I do only budget the groceries as I can afford to. So before, this is a big change for me. So before I used to budget and say, okay, I have $1,000 for the month. And what I would try to do, I found myself trying to hit that $1,000 every month. It wasn't necessarily in the back of my mind. It wasn't necessarily that the money was there, but it was like I was telling myself, oh, Melissa, your budget is $1,000. So as long as you stay under $1,000, everything is fine. But most of the time it was like, where is that $1,000 coming from? Is it coming out of your budget where you are spending cash, or were you going to charge that to a card? And in the past, I was charging it to a card because I was telling myself I had $1,000. So this is not another big step for me that I have curbed, my credit card expenses, especially when it comes to groceries. So I'm very proud of myself for doing this, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I'm gonna be focused on keeping it this way. All right. Heating oil, I only got it once so far for what we spoke about for 1810. Household goods. So now household goods is a little bit over budget for what I had in my mind. So a little bit of things kind of came up at the last minute. So the garbage can was one thing, and the smoke detector was one thing. So I just had to take those out of the household fund because I didn't budget for this much. So my household budget was very small when I took out in cash, but I was able to get the monies from other places, and those were cash flowed, put it that way. Miscellaneous car expense, nothing so far. Other kids expense. So the 6507 is pull-ups for my little one, haircut for my son, and for the older daughter, she got $15 in fund money. Okay, personal spending is $65.93. So I did dip into my personal spending sinking fund this month because for the new phone case and screen protectors, that came out of the personal fund. So I'm not too mad at myself for that because I usually don't buy myself anything. I usually buy for the kids or buy for hubby or the household. I never really do anything for myself. So that was just something for me. Propane, I did pay propane this month. So as you can see, unexpected spending. So far since the last time we spoke about my budget of me having $123.99 in unexpected spending, nothing else has happened so far. So the savings and sinking funds, I won't go over those until I close out the savings and sinkings funds for the month, because there was quite some monies that was pulled out of it. I'm feeling okay with pulling the money out of sinking funds because I am not charging it to a card. And I have to keep reminding myself that that's why the monies were there. So excuse my voice. I don't know if it's because I'm tired or I don't know what it is, but my voice keep cracking. So I'm so sorry if you hear it. I'll try to edit those out. But yes, I'm not too upset about that. So far that's what's happened for the month. We still have 12 more days. 12 more days in the month of April to go. We will get paid in another 8 days, and we'll see what we can do with that money leading into the end of the month, and see if we could pay all our bills. So I'm trying my very best to stay on top of my spending. And like I said, I'm giving myself A+ for, you know, keeping it under control. So for the fixed bills, there is really nothing that I can do about it until I pay these debts off. Really, I can't do much about the fixed bills. But for the variables, I am doing okay with them. I am definitely doing okay with them, and I'll continue to do it. So you guys, if you stuck around this long, please put a waving hand. Put a waving hand in the comments. I would love to chit chat with you guys. And like I said, thank you so much for everybody who have subscribed to the channel. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. I would love for you to follow along with my journey and come back for the next one. Bye now.